Episode 3, Unboxing Hatboxes.
Hi hat lovers. Today we're going to look inside of this vintage box, which is a label on the lid that says Miller's, Knoxville. This one feels like it has more than one hat in it, or maybe it's not a hat at all. It doesn't feel as lightweight as I would think this box would feel if it was just a single hat. Miller's is a department store chain. I know that Miller's in Knoxville is a store that my mother took me there when I was a small child, when she and my father were at school. My only recollection of Miller's was they had these glass tables that were suspended from chains from the ceiling, and I was like, I don't know, I only lived there when I was like 2 and 3 years old, until I went back for college. My eyesight has always been terrible, and I didn't register where these glass tables were hanging as I was running around through the store like a crazy thing, and plowed into the corner of one, which was not sharp, it was rounded, but it still cut my forehead. And I remember being startled by blood running down my face and my mom freaking out. That constitutes my main memory of Miller's Knoxville. Now I suspect that I know what's in this one, but the weight isn't right when I pick it up. But I know where this box came from. Grandmother Jean, when she died, she left me a fur-trimmed coat and a matching fur hat. And this was the box that hat was stored in. I know I still have the coat in the closet here, and I can't remember if I kept the hat in this original hat box or put it somewhere else. So let's find out. The fur hat is not in the box. This is lots of exciting things. There's, oh, here, this is a fabric flower where the petals have been edged with essentially pipe cleaners. This is one of several fabric flowers that I purchased when I was in New York City a couple of summers ago, and I took a tour of the Schmalberg fabric flowers factory in the garment district, which is the last remaining fabric flower manufactory in the US. While I was there, they were having a sale, several tables with boxes and displays of fabric flowers. So I bought several in that sale, of which this is one. I mean, I bought like 10 of them. It does not appear that the others are in this box. There's just this one. There's 2 hats in this box, of which this is the first. Oh, look at that label back there. Mr. John Jr. I'm going to put this hat on Zelda. Take this beautiful purple perch hat with its lovely spray of flower tulips here. And we'll put that aside so that she can try on this hat, because I know for a fact that this hat is too small for my head. And there's a detail to notice on this hat right here that's a circular pin with mother of pearl adornment on it. This hat is really excellently constructed. I've looked at this hat with my graduate students as an excellent example of how you can put seams into a felt hat body to make it fit closer to the head, and use those seams as design lines and style lines, and also support. Unsized felt, really, very soft, but it has these seams running. Can you see that? Seams in the felt that stabilize it and help keep it in the shape that Mr. John wanted it to be in. This hat is not from the 20s. It's evoking those cloches from the 20s in its style lines, but this hat is probably from the late 50s, early 60s, just based on what I know about the label Mr. John Jr. This hat was a gift from a very good friend of mine named Jessamy Thomason, and she had flown to Chapel Hill to come to an opening night party for a production of Cabaret that we did several years ago, and she brought this hat with her to wear to that party. We had a great time, we looked awesome, but when she left the hat with me because it is such a good example of this style and this technique, and she didn't feel that she would have a ton of other places to wear it, and wanted me, playmakers, my graduate students, to benefit from having it around to look at and study. And actually, I'm glad that I found this in this box, because since it is too small for my head, I was going to donate it to the costume collection at Playmakers, potentially the costume archive, if our archivists feel like it is a good enough example to preserve as part of that study collection, and if not, then it would just go into costume stock. So that's one of the hats in this box, but there's a second one. And that is this beautiful hand sculpted felt cloche. See, it's got this great shell on the side of it. And then this excellent sort of leaf structure that threads through a slit in the felt. Now if you can see the label at the back there. Oh, I don't have good enough light for you to see it. There's a label at the back that says Dillard Millinery. Let me put this aside. There's more stuff in here, but it's kind of in the way right now. So the woman that made this hat is sort of a stylistic hero of mine. She does beautiful work in this particular style of hand-formed felt. And I bought this hat several years ago from her Etsy shop. And her hats show up all over the place if you search on Pinterest for felt cloches, because they are all extremely beautifully done, wonderful workmanship, absolutely invisible felt stitching to secure these design elements. And I've heard her talk on videos before about her technique and how she uses minimal amounts of sizing so that mostly the hat has a soft structure, very similar to how this one is so soft to wear. So when you touch this one, there's only sizing in the ridges where it needs to retain its structure. These flutes of the shell are strongly sized and very stable, but this crown is still quite soft and you can push a dimple into it so easily. I'm gonna try this one on because it's my hat and it definitely fits my head super well. I used to wear this a lot when I had much shorter hair. I'm not sure I love it now that my hair is in its COVID no haircut length. I'd have to style this a little better. But I'm excited to rediscover this hat by Dillard and this beautiful white hat by Mr. John Jr. in this hat box from Miller's Knoxville, but those are not the only things in there. There is also this little fabric drawstring bag, and it says Carol the Mover Incorporated, Quincy, Massachusetts. I have lived in Boston before, but I've never lived in Quincy. Oh, deja vu. I'm feeling like maybe this was a part of a gift of millinery supplies, maybe from Denise Wallace Spriggs, who is the milliner at the Huntington Theater in Boston. What feels like cool stuff. Oh, okay, there is a spool of thread that I can't read unless I take my glasses off. Wow, I can't read that font. It looks like it might say Denison Manufacturing, Framingham, Massachusetts. Cotton covered wire. Okay, so we have some green vintage floral wire on a cute little wooden spool. And then we have a collection of stamens for making fabric flowers, like this handmade fabric flower from Schmalberg. These little pearlescent buds are actually, you can see them in the middle of this flower. There's quite a number of those shiny white pearlescent stamens. Oh, some of these have already been prepared to form the centers of as yet unmade fabric flowers, but now I feel like I'm compelled to finish these. I'm the sort of person that will buy a bag of quilt squares at a estate sale just so I can finish some dead lady's quilt. There's also these exciting red berries that they feel like they're not plastic. Well, they might be celluloid, but they feel like they might actually be porcelain or some type of like ceramic or clay. They're not round. They're not like holly berries. They're sort of oval shaped. And there's several bunches of those in here as well. The last thing in here is a little tiny miniature holiday poinsettia that has two plastic holly leaves to either side of it, and the flower itself is also plastic, but the petals have been flocked with some fuzzy flocking, so they're nicely textured and not shiny like the plastic leaves. Well, that's really quite endearing. So that is the end of our unboxing video for this hat box from Miller's Knoxville. I'm super pleased for having the opportunity to rediscover these two gorgeous hats and these interesting pieces of millinery trim supplies with you guys. Please subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell for notifications because I will also soon be featuring live stream studio time of me working on hats in progress here in my studio. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and I'll see you next week for yet another hat box unboxing.